Ladies and gentlemen, Flash came out strong in game number 2 to tie it up, which means that in a best of 7 with the score at 1-1, we are basically back to a best of 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started in just a moment. Akalon Waste is going to be the next map. We're going to get, both players are ready. We're going to hop right into this one. It's tied 1 game apiece. Both of these guys are bringing out everything that they have stockpiled up to this point. $25,000 is on the line, and of course the title of the MLG Winter Championship winner.
We've seen Flash go bio on this map. We've seen him go mech. We've seen Life do early Ling Roach pressure. We've seen him go Mutaling. We've seen him go Roach Hydra Viper. What is Life going to have in store on Akalon Waste? One of the weirder maps in the map pool. A lot of it comes down to the fact that on Akalon Wastes, it is an easy 4 bases. On most maps, you can get an easy 3, something like on Antigua Shipyard, but here, it's quite straightforward to secure all 4, and given the amount of aggression that Flash is busting out, we've seen him take 5, 6, 7 bases swiftly on this map.
You know, that it would be the thing that would scare me dearly as a Zerg playing against Flash on this map, is to know how aggressive he can be, and also, you know, how many attack points there actually are on this map. I mean, it seems like a smart pick.
And you know, it's kind of interesting. On a real basic question is, you know, I want to take another base. I have a couple of options. It's not like taking my natural where it's clear that I should take that one. Which one should I take? The basic rule is that if your army is slow, clunky, something like mech, you want to expand along the direction of attack. If you have something really fast, like Ling Muta, you want to expand on opposite corners of the map to exploit how much slower your opponent is. But the problem is, on Akalon Wastes, pretty much every expansion is along the sides, where it's kind of towards your opponent. It's not really along a direction of attack, so it means that defending bases 5 and 6 are quite difficult when compared to those first 4.
We've seen, of course, similar styles from both these players throughout the competition based off of the last 2 games, Sean. Life versus Flash here on Akalon Waste, you know, with the styles that Flash was using, with the style that Life was using, on paper, who do you feel has the right style for this map?
I really feel that Flash is going to be the one who's going to come out with a significant edge in this position. He is the one who has the careful, meticulous builds, easy to defend early set of bases. Life is going to be on the defensive. We saw Last take out Life on this map, and if Last can do it, Flash can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, game 3 of Life vs. Flash is starting right now.
Akalon Waste is the map. We are loaded in, and we are going to introduce our players. In the northwest position, as the Red Zerg has 1 game tied with his opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Startail Life.
And spawning down in the bottom right, practices 40 games a day every single day, and it shows in his performance. From KT, it is Flash. And you know, Marcus?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I want to talk a little bit about choosing a build order for the map. You know, what's very common is to become attached to a specific build order, and then when you see a new map, you think, how can my build order work on this new map? Well, what Flash is so expert at doing is saying, what is the map? Now, what is the best possible build here? Let me just get good at that. We've seen him on this map go for the Reaper opening. This is one of the best maps to do it because of all the high-low ground alternations. But a lot of other players are doing that on every map. They're trying to bend it to work. Not Flash. Flash is very, very meticulous about planning that sort of thing out.
Well, I mean, in relation to Flash's Brood War career, this was a much more prevalent thing to do in Brood War than it was during the Wings of Liberty era. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, certainly in Brood War, the maps had a significant impact due to the fact that the units were quite large when compared to terrain. I mean, in StarCraft 2, you can pretty much fit a maxed army up and down, even this thin ramp we're looking at, without more than, you know, 3 to 5 seconds of time. However, as the maps are getting more creative in StarCraft 2, we're starting to see wildly different outcomes. I mean, this map is totally different from Whirlwind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in night and day, really. And we are going to see what's happening here in the front. We've got, of course, Hatchery going down for Life, the quick command center for Flash. Both players, interestingly, off of a map that you'd think is probably smaller in comparison to a few. It's not going to matter. Both players want to get that expansion down as quickly as possible.
Now, here's an interesting fact just coming from Twitter from Polarius1. Says
Yes.
that in 9 MLG finals have started off 1-1. The game 3 winners have won 8 of those 9 finals.
Wow.
This is a critical game in terms of momentum for the series.
That is a pretty hard statistic to actually argue with, and obviously even more difficult to try to go up against. It's absolutely insane. I'm going to see if it's going to happen here. I mean, third game, probably another very important game in a best of 5. Of course, H1 carries a significant amount of weight, Sean. But if the stat proves to be true, then maybe we'll find out who the winner will be after this game.
Now, of course, the one exception to that rule was Life.
Really?
Life is the only player to have ever lost a Game 3 in a Grand Finals and won
You were
anyway.
just setting us up for that, Sean.
Deflam,
Thanks.
Marcus.
You did it. You did it.
We call that
Baited.
the alley-oop, and you bucketed it, Marcus.
Baited, totally. All right, speed's going down. One drone continues to remain on the extractor here for Life. So populating both sides, both hatcheries, excuse me, and the factory has gone down for Flash.
A very swift expand by Life, counting exactly when that command center was started at the natural expansion. We see Flash doing his usual thing, and what excites me so much about seeing this is that it means we're going to see a really awesome game. Most builds kind of have this setup where there is some light pressure and then a timing attack later on, and then a whole bunch of judgment calls in the late turn. Very often, I'd probably say 90% of the time, against just a general player on the ladder, you'll do critical damage with the pressure and win with the timing push. Or you'll do maybe some damage with the pressure and win with the timing push. But here, Life and Flash aren't going to lose to some early basics. Life won't lose to Hellions, or Flash will lose to a couple Ling run-bys. So exciting.
We have quite a few Lings making their way to the front here. Bunker is established, and there's a couple Marines inside. Can make their way around to the third, but I'm not sure that's exactly what Flash has, what Life has in mind. At this point, we're going to see the third CC come down for Flash, and he does lower those depots to let a few of those Hellions out. He's going to go after these Zerglings, try to get a few kills on the map. Keep in mind, all of the Vision Tower right now does belong to Life, with the exception of the Western Tower, and this is the map that has 4 Xel'Naga towers in it.
One thing that's kind of weird about the Mutalisk in this matchup is due to the fact that so many players were opening up Banshee and Wings of Liberty. We got used to just saying things like, oh yeah, Mutalisk is just a good option. It's just a general good unit. But here, there's no air out of Flash. You don't actually need the Mutalisk. Sure, they're good, but there's no need for them. So that's what's really clever about Life's option to just stay Zergling for so long. And yet again, Flash not going to go too crazy with the Hellions at the start of the game.
Oh, he's going to get 6, and he's going to come around. He knows those Lings are there. Goes in for the assault beyond the grass. The Lings, they quickly dodge out of that situation and run away. Now we've got 6 Hellions making their way over to their opponent's base. He knows the third's up. Flash checked it. He saw the creep. But which base is he going to attack?
Well, right now, the Barracks Flood is starting to get kicked into high gear. Life has seen everything, but this is more of a matter of reassurance for Life. It's like, hey, it's nothing you haven't seen before. Should be doing really no change to his plan.
Lair going down for Life now, and he's just on perfect track, spreading that creep as far out, also connecting the natural and the third. Hellions take a couple of hits and move back. Right now, Life has full vision of at least the middle of the map, pulling those Lings back, but leaving one behind. We're going to see that third command center dropped for Flash, and I do believe this Overlord will spot it. Yes, it does, and with Zerglings on the map, we're going to need to we'll see if Life is actually going to go and immediately try to attack that. A swell of Zerglings coming out, and I think that's exactly what he has in mind.
This is why Flash needs to stay defensive against Life. Life loves these early flood-in timings, and it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Marcus, Baneling Nest getting the research for the Baneling speed first. No Spire, it's going to be an assault. We saw this work magnificently against Pult. We saw it fall flat terribly against Last. It all comes down to the control of Terran.
So when it fell versus Last, was it due to mines at all? Because we've also seen this fall just because that perfect mine hit.
Well, what happened is, I mean, Life threw in a couple of Zerglings to Last. The mines detonated. And then without combat shield, Last did the most beautiful, perfect splitting to annihilate the Ling Baneling. Far and away the best split I've seen this entire tournament. So Flash, given that he is really the master of all mechanics, he certainly has the skills that it would take to deflect this sort of attack. But right now it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
84 Zerglings. 86 Zerglings versus 21 Marines.
They're going to be 1-1, and there the Banelings are morphed just north of Flash's natural. Now, Flash is putting down some defense. He's got a depot wall as well as a bunker in the back.
Oh no,
there are so many Zerglings, 78 on the field. The rest of them are Banelings, and here they go. Flash moved down.
Right,
he's totally out of position.
Has absolutely nothing here to defend, just a single Marine. He misses the lift. Life floods in with massive amounts of units. The Banelings doing their best to connect, and oh my God, Life.
Yes.
Nails
Marines
it.
Melted. Hellions the only thing left. He puts himself in a position to try. GG! There is no position Flash could have put himself into. It was unfortunately a bad move out by Flash, trying to go for some aggression. Life had other things in mind, and honestly, it's all about the vision of that map.
That was a convincing win. Not only did Life win with one clean, easy attack, but he did it with plenty of wiggle room behind. If that attack was decimated, no problem. He's been stockpiling gas with 6 geysers up, can transition into Mutalisk, can easily get a 4th base up. Life has a clear command of this style.
Very clear command, and that means that Life is going to take the 3rd game. Maybe now it's Flash's turn to make that stat come untrue. And we are going to be moving on to Newkirk City as the next matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, MLG is currently trending in the US. Let's make it worldwide. We appreciate your support here, and of course the players do as well. This epic final will continue. Life versus Flash, Game 4. It's coming up after this.